We are now joined by one of the leaders of the Saints defense. He is truly one of the best in the league. He led the team in tackles last season. He was named All-Pro, and this man has never missed a game in his 8-year NFL career. Please give it up to one of the best in the business, the Beast, Saints linebacker, Demario Davis. What's up, Demario?
What up, boss? Man, appreciate that dope intro.
Of course, man. I got to show you love. You deserve it. Now, let's talk about this. Let's get right to it. The 2020 schedule, it was released. You guys are starting off with a blockbuster, bro. You're playing up against Tom Brady and Drew Brees, the Superdome, all the energy. I would ask, what's your reaction? But I know as a football player, it's just football. It's week one. Let's get it on. But I want to ask about Tom Brady. At this point in his career, this dude's been in the league 2 decades. Do you see him and you think, all right, he doesn't move in the pocket. He's not fast. It's easy eating. Or do you look at Tom Brady and you're like, you know what? I don't care what jersey he has on. I don't care that he's not a threat to run. I got to respect his greatness, so I'm going to show him that type of respect.
Well, I guess going against him for so long, I think this would be like my 10th time playing him in my career. You got to know he's the ultimate competitor. He's not going to need any extra motivation for the game, and he's going to be, 2 GOATs going at it head-to-head. I mean, it's going to be one of the most mentally prolific games happening down on that field. I mean, he's always prepared. He's just like Drew, comes to the line of scrimmage, got the whole playbook at the line of scrimmage and do whatever he wants. And knows exactly when he looks at the defense what he wants to do with the ball. And so mentally, you got to be on top of it. And definitely for that challenge.
Demario, love having you on the show. One of the great men of the NFL. I know the New York and New Jersey region loves you for what you did with the Jets, and now New Orleans, of course, with the Saints. I'm looking at the schedule. I see Christmas Day, 1 game on the schedule, just 1, and it's Vikings playing the Saints. We know how the season ended 2 years ago for the Saints, or 3 years ago with the Minneapolis Miracle. Of course, this past season with Cousins hitting Rudolph. There's some bad blood there. Vikings and Saints, are you ready to be the sole show and get that revenge against them on Christmas Day?
Yeah, when I saw it, I definitely said that Christmas came early. But, you look at that, and anytime you fall short of your goals, any obstacle that was in that way, you're gonna look forward to that challenge and have a chance to make that right. So that's definitely going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be a fun game. And to be able to do it when you're the only show in town, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Demario, you're such a leader on this team. Things are sort of weird. There's a lot of obstacles to the offseason. It's virtual. So we know that you'll be helpful in getting your team up to speed. We've heard your coach say really nice things about your leadership ability. So we love when we get to have you here on the show. I want to ask you if there's any truth to this mentality that this is a must-win for Drew. Like, how much do you factor that into your personal motivations or your motivation as a leader on that team? The fact that you guys, talking about coming up short, should have won the Super Bowl potentially last year and the year before, and it didn't happen. Is there a win-it-for-Drew mentality on the Saints?
Most definitely. That was one of the big reasons why I came to the Saints, to have the opportunity to play with Drew Brees, to play with Sean Payton. I mean, honestly, I feel like Drew is the greatest quarterback of all time. I certainly feel like Coach Payton is one of the greatest coaches as well. So I feel like it's winning for Drew, winning for Sean, winning for the team. I mean, to have the locker room that we have with the talent that we have and the chemistry that we have is rare, and you definitely don't want to take it for granted. And it would be a huge tragedy if we didn't make the most of it by winning the championship and winning for the city. There's no culture, no city more deserved, in my opinion. And I mean, I'm biased as a Southern boy, but also it's time, and it's there. But you can have the nicest car when you pull up to the race. It's all about how you drive it.
Demario, I think your signal might have cut out for a second. I think you said that Drew Brees was the greatest quarterback of all time. Is he better than the guy who just moved in the division and has 6 Super Bowls?
We are about to see, big fella.
Yeah, there he is. Thanks for waking up.
Oh, it's great. We are about to see Big Fella put it on a T-shirt. What a great answer. DeMario, scheduled release day year after year, we see it. The teams put out these incredibly creative videos on social media, and they're funny or they bust chops with their opponents. And the Saints video this year kind of started that way, but then took a really cool, very serious turn in a way. The Saints this year bought meals for first responders and other essential workers in 4 of the cities that are on your 2020 schedule. Meals for restaurants in Philadelphia and big old cheesesteaks, Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago. They delivered that food on behalf of the Saints. It's really cool because it's one of those the NFL is all one big family moments. I'm sure you saw the video. As a representative of the Saints doing such a really cool thing, what were your thoughts on it?
Oh man, very powerful video. I think it just represents who we are as a city, represents who we are as Americans, understanding that, yeah, at times we can bump heads or even on Sundays be enemies, but being able to pause and understand when there's a greater threat, when there's a greater enemy, and collaborating, working together to get accomplished whatever we need to get accomplished and emerge victorious. So in a time like this where everybody's kind of confused and scared and hurting, and a lot of different situations, it's an important time for us to come together as a nation, come together as a world, and fight this common enemy. And it's a beautiful scene. It's a beautiful thing to see how it's been done.
All right, DeMario, as I mentioned earlier, you've never missed a game, and you were a team captain last year. So when Drew Brees went down, you took on that role where you needed to hype up the team. And I know what it's like to have to get your team ready before a game. Everybody looking at you, and you like, hype man, yeah, that's me. So kind of talk about that rush and that responsibility to get your team going before each and every game.
Man, stepping in the huddle, Saints huddle is literally like the energy of Leonidas on 300. That's the best way I can explain it, man. I mean, getting ready to go into battle, and you can feel it. It's almost like, man, you cannot be slipping when you step in that huddle with that speech. It's almost like the game hangs on the power of that speech. And so you got to have the words, you got to have the delivery, and that's all kudos to Drew, because I remember stepping in the huddle, and every team I've been on, I've did huddle breakdown. But when I stepped in and heard Drew for the first time and saw how guys responded to him, and that level of respect and attention, and everybody tuned in on the same heartbeat, that's like sticking around. I don't know if I've ever been more nervous to stand in front of people than I was the first time I had to lead that speech, and I was glad it was.
Let's wrap with this question here. DeMario, I love having you on here. You're from Brandon High School in the state of Mississippi, but you're not the only graduate of Brandon High School. There's this guy, too. Minshew Mania. Gardner Minshew went to the same high school you did. Tell us about that town you're from in Mississippi and how amazing it is that there are now 2 NFL stars, a starting quarterback and one of the most respected linebackers in the league from that high school.
Well, what we say back home is BOE, Brandon over everything. And so it's dope to have somebody put on for the city, especially at the quarterback position. We called it the Brandon Bowl last year. We went head-to-head. Gardner know who want to know. So that's hometown bragging, right? Small town living, Mississippi. Great people.
Yeah.
Hospitable. Humble beginnings. And it's amazing to be where we are today.
DeMario, very quickly, I've heard whispers and rumors that you are now taking over part of the pregame chant. So this was like Drew Brees' entire deal for a decade, and now there's a duo to take over those duties. Is this true?
It was amazing to collaborate with Drew last year. I have so much respect for that guy. I remember when they winning the championships and 1-2 win for you, and they're breaking it down and watching that on TV, and so having the opportunity to be a part of it. When Drew went down, it just didn't feel right. Even me just stepping in there doing it alone, Then we talked about doing collaborations, and I say a little bit on the front end, and then Drew brought the chant back, and then the collabs just worked, and the team felt it, the city felt it, and we kept rolling. That's what really mattered.
I love it. Love it. We love to see that it's going to continue in 2020. We need a name for this duo, you and Drew Brees. You guys can hit us up at GMFB. Demario Davis, thank you so much for taking some time with us. Thank you for being so patient with our show, with all the technical nuances that we deal with. We love you, and we are rooting for your Saints. We're loving that it's Saints-Bucks Week 1.
Appreciate it. Hey, rest in peace, Ahmad.
That's right.
Well
Respect,
said. Thank you so much, Demario Davis, for stopping by the show.